Evening and morning, wherever you are. From Holland, we are live. This is Anya. She teaches Reiki and Aikido, first Dan practitioner. And we actually have a webinar coming up soon about Reiki and Aikido and the similar. Exciting?
Very.
Well, that's good. I'm excited about it.
Me too.
So, Anya just did a little meditation. A lot of people do live meditations, and Anya just did one here for the Dutch community. What was great. And I was sitting there in that so peacefully and calm, and I thought, you know what? Let's do another fun live. And so I thought maybe we do some chanting this morning. So first of all, again, still happy Easter. And we are going to do this wonderful mantra. It's very simple. You can chant along later. It's an old Kototama mantra in Japanese. A, O, U, E, E. A, O, U, E, E. Really important that we take these deep breaths. You know, most important when we do this kind of mantra chanting, these deep breaths, that this is very still, the top part of your body, but the deep breathing in the hara. That's the same in Aikido. The hara is so important, isn't it?
It is. The basis, yeah.
Yeah.
It is very important, yes. It is actually what it all is about. Building the basis, building the power, and which comes from your hara.
Yeah, that center, you know, we have to be centered. And when we move centered through the world, then life becomes easier. We're not that much overwhelmed by the other things.
Well, I think also when you have a center, when you realize you have a center, and the more centered center is, the bigger space it can hold.
Absolutely, yeah. And this is why, for example, practices like Joshin Kokyo in the system of Reiki, when you're breathing in the hara and then you expand it outwards, is exactly that.
Right, and there's even in Aikido, there's even almost the same exercise, which is called kokyuho, and then you do a special movement, but it resembles Joshin Kokyuho a lot.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. You know, if you look at all these Japanese practices, you see so much similarities about it, and this is really what we're going to talk about in Anya's webinar. You can find it on her Facebook page or website. What's your website?
www.reikiwaters.com.
There we go. And now we're going to do some chanting.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
Yes. So if you don't want to chant along, that's fine. Just go and sit in that nice quiet space. We do it for about 6 hours, and then we're done.
And we fall asleep.
Okay. So the 6 hours is in May. We're going to do an online retreat for the first time for 2 days. 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the evening. And that would be quite amazing. We do half an hour sessions with meditation. We do discussions and stuff like this. So then you can really go deeper into the practice. Now we just do a little bit and see where it goes. Okay, so take first a couple of deep breaths into the hara. If you want to chant along, chant along. If not, just set your intent for healing to take place or empowerment or blessing. And at the same time, always remember that we're interconnected already. We don't have to connect with each other. We always are interconnected. What means I am you, you are me. I am the universe is me. And in a deep interconnectedness, healing can really blossom. Aww. Sit in that resonance. Place your hands on the hara, just below your belly button, above your pubic bone. Feel that center becoming more centered. Take about a couple of deep breaths into the hara and gently open your eyes. Oh, that was fun.
Went well.
So for me, the chanting is exactly the same as that Joshin Kokyoho. You did a deep breathing in the hara, and then it's like when a pond is really calm and you throw a pebble in it, then you have a huge ripple effect. So when we drop that breath and then the chant in that calm hara mind space, that ripples out. And this is a really important element. This is also why it's so important to keep our mind quiet and clear when we do chanting, particularly with very simple mantras like this. Some people, they then know it by heart, but then it actually becomes by route, and we go chanting like "Ao and then that ripple effect is not taking place.
I was chanting, and I had this idea of when I said that when a center is more centered, it can hold a bigger space, and I had this idea of it's like a
bow and arrow.
A bow and arrow. If you go, stay Bill. If you go like this and you go just a little bit, it will not go far. But the deeper, the further you go, the further you stretch, and this is just this focus. The further you stretch, the further it will go.
Yeah, and in traditionally bow and arrow in Japan, they also use breathing to actually pull that string. That string is very tight, and to actually pull it, use your breath and then release it, and you release the breath at the same time, that really hit the target. And what is that target is ultimately that we feel less angry, less worried, less fearful, being grateful, being true to our inner being, and being compassionate.
Focused, not distracted by things.
Yeah. And then, again, with the system of Reiki and Aikido is Kototama, these chants. We see traditionally within the system of Reiki, we see that traditionally in Aikido.
Yes.
And same in the system of Reiki that was disappeared, kind of. And same in Aikido. It's very rare that you find an Aikido school who teaches and practices Kototama.
Yeah, unfortunately. But luckily, we have this written down in books, and we have some YouTube films.
YouTube
we can look
some
it up.
Old ones.
Some old ones.
Yeah.
And then with your own practice, you can go and reach the depths, I think, of the practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You just have to look within.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I think, a wonderful thing. There is more information about the founder of Aikido than the founder of Reiki. It's very, Mikasui's life is very obscured. But this is not a problem, because they left certain teachings. But to actually understand those teachings, we have to go within and find them and embody them within ourselves. So, for example, in Reiki 2, there is a symbol and mantra. If I do it once a day, once in a while, then but if I would sit down for, say, 45 minutes once a day and repeat this one mantra over and over again for 1 year, then I get a really different outcome. And then I have maybe a direct experience of what those founders were talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly. Of course, in Aikido, you have certain techniques, and you see the technique being done, let's say, by the teacher, being exemplified, but it doesn't mean that you will immediately can do it. Yeah, you see how he does it, and you see his practice in it, and then you go and practice.
Yeah.
And then he comes and corrects you, and then you realize, okay, this is my error, and this is where I do it not completely wrong, and then you do it again and again and again and again. And the teacher keeps pointing out, okay, this can be adjusted, this can be adjusted. Here you can go deeper, there you can go deeper. And this is how you evolve, and it's a never-ending practice.
Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty, I think, also, I think it's a modern thing, unfortunately, where we practice something really kind of superficial and we say, oh, I know it. But by actually doing that in those old styles like Mikasui and the founder of Aikido, that really doing it again and 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 again, then you come to the really finer points of what they were really talking about. And that might take 20, 30, 40 years. It's not in a weekend. It's not in a month. And that is really, for me, the essence of those systems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, we will have that teleclass coming up soon about Aikido and the system of Reiki, and a retreat coming up for 2 days in May, virtual retreat where it's all live. So it'll be exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, keep practicing, keep chanting, keep meditating, keep your mind under control so that you don't get bowled over by this crazy world out there, what we sometimes do. And, we being bowled off our center, we feel uncentered, unhinged. And so, yeah, really practice. I hope you all stay safe, look after yourself, and we chat soon.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.